With a comfortable lead, Richard Schilling and Ashley Thorne looked to be good bets to wrap up a second Lesotho Sun Roof of Africa victory. Schilling was looking for his fourth win, having previously won the event with Fred Levesque and Rob Walk, but most of the pressure was on Harvey and Acton, who were within sight of winning the 95 Special Vehicle Championship.
We're going to take it very easy today, and we're going to ride virtually to finish, because that's all we need. As long as we finish, I think in the first 10, it's all right. So we're going to conserve the car and try and get the finish line. That's what we plan to do today.
Production vehicle leaders Cassie Coetzee and Richard Leek were also looking for a second Roof of Africa win. A terrific day 2 run saw the pair up into the second overall position, and they must have fancied their chances. Since it was first run way back in 1967, the Roof has earned its reputation as the toughest event of its kind in the world, but it also takes competitors through some breathtaking scenery. The Lesotho Sun Roof of Africa Rally has always been a case of survival of the fittest. Day 2 took a heavy toll, with fancied runners like Bob Walk and Greg Wiebel and the Sulwald brothers falling by the wayside. Those who never made it past day 1 included last year's winners Cliff Barker and Mike Redden, and Franz Chepik Sr. and Jr., who went into the Roof leading the Special Vehicle Championship. The Roof's reputation for providing a sting in the tail must have been uppermost in the minds of Richard Schilling and Ashley Thorne, who were faced with 1 or 2 other problems. With a powerful wind blowing up in the mountains, there were also uncomfortable moments for the marshals. Day 2 also provided a fine performance from Derek Pinoy and Hilton Laurie, who were still running strongly early on in the final leg. The Natal crew had yet to run into major problems, but were under a little pressure from Stan Ilman and Franz Stangl in the Shell Raceco. Sections of the route were very rough, forcing crews to use a great deal of discretion. It is all too easy to push too hard at the wrong time and damage the vehicle. Behind Stan Ilman and Franz Stangl, there was something of a traffic jam. Neil Woolrich and Paul Vermaak in the Nissan Sani were being closely followed by the Carolyn Lubrication Equipment Raceco and Herbie Smith, who was still going great guns in the Mighty Mag. With deep ruts and dongers often lining the side of the track, attempts at overtaking could turn into a risky business, and everyone was displaying a fair amount of caution. RP Reyneke and Robin Houghton in the Bankfin Toyota Land Cruiser were also being forced into taking a cautious approach, with Ralph and Ray Henderson still in with a mathematical chance of sneaking the Production Vehicle Championship. It was not time for Reyneke and Houghton to start taking unnecessary chances. Just up the road, the vagaries of the Roof were amply illustrated by the sight of the Castrol Toyota Hilux of Cassie Coetzee and Richard Leek stranded on the edge of a river crossing.
We came into this river crossing, and the sand was very thick. We took what we thought was the best line through it, and unfortunately just couldn't get over the bank, just a little bit higher up on the left, and the clutch wouldn't take it. We rolled back, stuck in the sand, dug out, rolled up again, and we couldn't get over the brim. And subsequently the other crews found a way around us, a little shortcut up the bank on your right, and they've got through. But it's done some damage to our clutch and no more drive. So that's the end of our event, unfortunately.
It was cruel luck on Coetzee and Leek, but a development that put RP Reyneke and Robin Houghton into the lead in the Toyota Land Cruiser. Toyota were well in control in Class E as well, where the Hilux of Andrew and Chris Birkin still led the similar vehicle crewed by the husband and wife team of Niels and Albie Lemmer. Production Vehicle Championship contenders Ralph Henderson and his nephew Ray were the only survivors in Class F. They were a long way behind Reyneke Houghton and the 2 Toyotas leading Class E, but the Printer Roller Services Ford had not missed a beat. The only problem looming for the Hendersons was the Nissan Safari of Paul Yonker and Michael Adams, which was right on the Ford's tail. In the quad racer category, Vickers van Dievoet had finally taken full control of proceedings on the Pro Group Security Yamaha Banshee. He was starting to pull away from Derek Johnson at a rapid rate of knots, with Johnson starting to edge away from Rod McPherson in 3rd place. After a terrific performance over the first 2 days, Lesotho crew Fofolo Shai and Moratole Ramasika were starting to slip down the field. The pair had lost their windscreen, and despite words of encouragement from navigator turned spectator Richard Leake, the pair were headed for retirement. Leake and Coetzee were having a good time egging on crews still in the event, with a trio of quad racers also providing for plenty of entertainment for a sizable crowd of locals who had turned up at the riverbed to watch the fun. On the motorcycle front, there was no holding Alfie Cox. The Italian had a vice-like grip on his 7th Roof of Africa and, barring an accident or mechanical problem, was a dead certainty to pick up his 3rd win in a row. Sections of the motorcycle route were murderous. It was a case of rocks, rocks and more rocks as riders battled their way up steep mountain tracks. It was tough going on riders and bikes, with German Dirk von Zitzewitz taking awful strain. The German had fought his way into 3rd place on the faster sections of the route, but on the steep and rocky uphill tracks was being rapidly hauled in by Errol Dalton and Grey Dick, who was having a tremendous roof. Even roof veterans like Errol Dalton were having a tough time of it on the steep mountain tracks. If ever there was proof that this is one of the toughest races in the world, this was it. Up at the service and refuel point, there was more drama. Word came filtering through that race leaders Richard Schilling and Ashley Thorne had joined Cassie Coetzee and Richard Leake in the spectator stakes. The Motortech race car had run into a terminal mechanical problem, and the unpredictability of the Roof of Africa had surfaced once again. With the Schilling, Thorne and Coetzee Leake crews sidelined, it was the Shell race car of Stan Illman and Franz Stangl which was first to arrive at the service centre. While Illman and Stangl stretched their legs, the camaraderie of off-road racing again surfaced. Among those who helped service the Shell race car were Bucks Carolyn and Greg Wiebel.
Waiting for you. We thought you were going to run out of petrol on that stretch, man.
It did not take long to get Illman and Stangl back on the road again, with the next to arrive the Bankfin Toyota Land Cruiser driven by R.P. Reneke and Robin Houghton. As always, Reneke's wife Thelma was on hand to supervise matters in the Bankfin camp.
Right, jy sou voor, Ilman is omtrent 5 minute voor jou, vat so in druk. Ek gaan jou ruit skoon maak en jy vashou.
Check your wheel nuts.
With the Shell race car now in the overall lead and the target for Reneke and Houghton, tension was starting to rise as the roof moved into its closing stages. While the Bankfin Toyota got underway again, there were awkward moments also for quad category leader Vickers van Deventer, with the Yamaha Banshee needing some running repairs at the service centre. There is always a surprise package in a race like the Roof, and this year it was provided by the Natal crew of Mark Laurie and Warren Morton. The pair quietly and unobtrusively soldiered on over the 3 days, and on the run into the finish had moved up into 3rd place, running 4th on the road and on their way to clinching the 95 Special Vehicle Championship with the Eastern Cape crew of Greg Harvey and Lionel Acton in the Queen Motorspares race car. A steady run saw Andrew and Chris Birkin firmly in control of the Class E in the Toyota Hilux. The Birkins gradually built up a lead of almost an hour on the husband and wife team of Nielsen Albie Lemmer. Once again, the Lemmers, who had a tremendous year, were the epitome of consistency. The pair won the Class D championship for Toyota and also performed heroically in the Video Sport Off-Road Challenge, which formed part of the Total and Castrol International rallies this season. The season also ended on a high note for Ralph Henderson and nephew Ray in the Printer Roller Services Ford. They dominated Class F throughout the Roof, but the strong showing by R.P. Reneke and Robin Houghton denied them the opportunity of possibly slipping through the back door to win the Production Vehicle Championship. At the front of the field, Stan Illman and Franz Stangl in the Shell race car were moving closer and closer to overall victory and top honours in the Special Vehicle category. They were being chased all the way by RP Reyneke and Robin Houghton in the Bankford Toyota Land Cruiser, with Mark Laurie and Warren Morton safely ensconced in third place. The gap between second and third was a whopping 2 hours, with only minutes between Ilman Stangl and Reyneke Houghton. There was a clear road to the finish for Alfie Cox, who, as he has done so often in the past, totally dominated the motorcycle section. Win number 7 was now a mere formality. A win for Wikus van Deventer in the quad racer category was also a formality, with the Yamaha Banshee rider now 2 hours clear of Derek Johnson in second place. The Lesotho Sun Roof of Africa sting in the tail cropped up again, with high drama almost in sight of the finish line. After being overtaken by RP Reyneke and Robin Houghton about 100 kilometers from the finish, Stan Ilman and Frans Stangl found themselves back in the overall lead when the Bankford Toyota Land Cruiser picked up a puncture 20 kilometers from home. There was little hope of the Toyota making up the leeway over the run into the flag, and it was cruel luck on the veteran Reyneke and his young navigator. First across the line at the finish on the outskirts of Maseru was Alfie Cox on the Pro Action Castrol KTM, with his wife there to welcome him home. It was roof win number 7 for Cox, who has made the event his own in recent years, with Daryl Curtis second and Errol Dalton third. Cox took the 500 class, Curtis the 250 category, and Clayton Ensland the 200 class.
For me, it's been a very good race. I've gone out there, I've gone as hard as I can, and end of the day it's paid off. I got a good lead from the day before, and today I just had to keep everything together, the bike, make sure I don't break anything, don't crash, and bring the whole lot home in one piece.
Overall honours and victory in the special vehicle category went to Stan Ilman and Frans Stangl in the Shell Raceco. A tough roof took its toll, and there were only 5 finishes in the special vehicle category, with third place overall enough to give Greg Harvey and Lionel Acton the 1995 Special Vehicle Championship.
It was very hard today, quite rough. We had one puncher, otherwise the car ran well. We passed RP passed us about 100 k's back, and when he broke down, we had a puncher as well, and then we passed him in the last 20 kilometers and kept it in front.
The Bankford Toyota Land Cruiser of RP Reyneke and Robin Houghton came charging home to take second overall and victory in the production vehicle category. The result clinched the championship for Reyneke and Houghton, and once again there was a high attrition rate with only 4 classified finishes. Behind the winners, the roll of honour was made up entirely of family combinations.
Ons het kampioenskap gewen, dis nou die derde keer wat ons Suid-Afrikaans kampioenskap wen, en ons is bly daaroor, en dit's lekker om so 'n hoë noot af te sluit.
The season ended on a high note for Wikus van Deventer with a comfortable win on the Pro Group Security Yamaha Banshee in the quad racer class. Van Deventer finished 2 hours ahead of Derek Johnson, who fought a good battle throughout with Rod McPherson. Fourth went to Kevin Pereira, with the Breckel brothers completing the finishes.
Ek het 3 jaar probeer vir die roof, ek kon hom nooit eers klaarmaak het jaar uit te kom. Ek is baie trots.
Highlight